I think you're right. I think the winner of this has a good shot.
So Argiriou comes out with the high kick early. Of course, Ash's last fight in Bellator. And it's funny when you talk to guys, Elias, about trying to end an undefeated streak and get in there and saying that the pressure's all on the other guy because he's the guy that has to keep that streak going, as opposed to you just, you know, if you lose, you're another guy that lost in that run.
Yeah, I think there's a lot said to be said about that, but still, everyone wants to win. So I think the pressure is there, but there's also the tangibles, the ability to say, I don't know what defeat tastes like. I don't know how I've never been in a situation where my hand wasn't raised. And Alex is doing really good at controlling the front, but Ash is still putting his stamp on everything that he's doing.
Yeah, it was a nice combination there a moment ago from Argiriou, who breaks in and tries to land another one there. The nose red, and it seems to be bothering Hamilton Ash as he's gone to check on it. I think probably checking to see if he's bleeding a couple times now.
Yeah, I think in the collision against the cage, there was a little bit of a headbutting. I saw both of them wince, but Ash going for the takedown, and Alexi saying no.
Yeah, again, when you've got a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, the last thing I think you want to do at this level is head to the ground with a guy who's got that kind of skill on the ground. And you can see here now a nice whizzer there up against the cage to prevent that takedown.
Alexi's doing a good job with the whizzer, and he's controlling the hips. That's actually why he didn't get taken down before.
Obviously some technical difficulty here with the lights, and it looks like we're going to take a bit of a pause here as we figure out what's going on. The referee has called time in the center of the cage. Looked like a little over 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in round one. But Hamilton Ash had Alexi Argiriou up against the cage at that moment. You got to assume they're going to be restarting here. Of course, Hard Knocks always pushing the envelope when it comes to how many lights we can get on and how many cameras we can get out there and trying to give you the best angles. And Ari, maybe this time one plug too many.
Well, actually, I wanted to break the internet, and apparently I broke a fuse or something instead of the internet.
Again, an unfortunate incident here with the lighting going on, but Hard Knocks continuing to move forward, continuing to kind of spread throughout the world as we can be seen live on pay-per-view throughout the Western Hemisphere as well as other places, continuing to move forward. Hard Knocks as an organization, what are we seeing from a Hard Knocks perspective?
I think we're seeing the fighters are getting better and more experienced, and they're understanding the value of themselves as a celebrity, as distinct from themselves as a fighter, and they're starting to understand the business of MMA, which is important. And I guess we're getting going here, so we'll carry this on later.
Yeah, it looks like we are underway now. Should be around just over 3 minutes remaining in the first round here between Alexi Argiriou and Hamilton Ash, and we appreciate your patience as we resume this fight here. And Argiriou now coming out and throwing a nice combination there, including a high kick, but there's a strong punch from Ash that staggered Argiriou, forced him into a shot, and now Argiriou could be in some trouble here with a guillotine.
That was definitely the limbic system kicking in and saying, I need to get this to the ground. But like we talked about before, when you do that against a black belt, you give up your neck like that. Even at 6-0, 5-0 rather, that Alexia is, there's still a lot of learning lessons in there. And here you are against an ace.
And this fight may be over in a moment. That looks deep from here. Hamilton Ash trying to end the undefeated streak for Alexi Argiriou as the house lights go out again. You can hear it from the crowd. The referee has got to stop this fight, and that is terrible for Hamilton Ash as they've got to call time again. And you got to know that Hamilton Ash has got to be incredibly frustrated here. And it's unfortunate for these two athletes that we're dealing with these kind of technical issues here, because they were putting on a great fight, and all we can do is wonder when we're going to get those lights back up, because Hamilton Ash may have just been about to end that fight.
especially in the dominant position, being on top, whether or not, you'd have to assume once the action gets going, he has to be back on top, at the very least, because of the aspect being he was there. He was full mount and possibly getting the submission. It was very close. One could even justify of allowing it to go with or without the lights.
Ladies and gentlemen, obviously we're dealing with some technical difficulties here. Due to the nature of how the fight was at the time it was stopped, this fight is being ruled a no contest. This fight will not